Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to services with Congregation Kol Ami in West Hollywood. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for services tonight. I'm Eliana Rubin. I'm Kol Ami's education resident. I'm joined tonight by Cantor Patty Linsky and our accompanist Lisa Edwards. If you would like to follow along with us virtually in our prayer book, please visit ccarpress.org to be able to access our prayer book. We're going to begin with Shir Chadash, which can be found on page 648.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
This is our first Shabbat together in the secular year of 2022. We are so grateful that you are joining us tonight. We're going to continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, the blessing of which may be found on page 120 and 121. 21. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת, של שבת. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We continue with the Kiddush on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu. זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל שבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
It is now time to welcome in the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi, which may be found on page 138. We will be chanting verses 1, 2, and 9.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela.
אמור וזכור בדיבורך גילך והמיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד בשם ותפארת לתחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד בשם ותפארת לתחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please take this time to greet Shabbat with those in the chat, or if you are with others in your living space, with them as well. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We continue with the Baruch Hu, found on page 146. Please rise as you are able.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
When I am working with younger folks and we are about to go into the Shema, I like to break it down for them. I like us to all go, shh. We need to quiet ourselves. Why do we need to quiet ourselves? To get ready to pray and to pray the Shema. Shh. Please join with us in the Shema on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue on page 154 with the Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem, amen. When the Israelites were running for their lives out of Egypt into the desert, into a hope of salvation, they came across the Sea of Reeds and they thought, there's nothing that we can do. But Moses lifted up his staff and the seas parted, and that was a miracle. And the Israelites ran through to safety, the waters on either side of them, as the Egyptians were swallowed up by the water, and that was a miracle. And they danced, the Israelites danced on the other side, and that was a miracle. No matter if miracles are big or small, we should still celebrate them. Please turn to page 158 for the Mi Chamocha.
Mi ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
As we prepare for the Amidah, and we have our Adonai Svatai Tifta, as we open our lips to truth, think about what truth you are opening your lips for. Think about the joyful truths, the hard truths, the difficult truths, the hopeful truths. They are all welcome here. And as we continue onwards, whether with the texts in our prayer book or within your own silent meditations, let whatever comes up, come up, and let that truth be valid for you right now. Please join on page 164.
Adonai Svatai Tifta. Adonai Svatai Tifta. Ufi agid tehilatecha. Ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai Svatai Tifta. Adonai Svatai Tifta. Ufi agid tehilatecha. Ufi agid tehilatecha.
We continue silently.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. I will carry you. I will carry you. הגיוני לפניך.
We now move our thoughts to those that are in need of healing of body, mind, or soul. At this time, we are thinking of John Altschul, Vicky Beard, Richard Bernard, Don Bernstein, Lisa Bird, Dabby Blatt, Elaine Blatt, Keith Cantrell, Louise Cantrell, Wayne Cantrell, Rebecca Chasnoff, Olga Drucker, Tino Felipe, Dorothy Gibson Anderson, Regina Gongol, Dave Hall, Don Hollis, Christopher Hughes, Madeline Kent, Ellen Lenk, Russell Kirschenbaum, Jeff Mackler, Lauren Ostrow, Tammy Rabowski, Manjaj Rastegar, Mehran Rastegar, Pari Rastegar, Ben Rayback, Howard Romanoff, Ivan Rosenberg, Lowell Selvin, Michael Simontel, Henry Sommerfeld, Muriel Stein, Kathy Weiss, Eitan Wolf, Nancy Wortman, and David Ben Herschel Vibasha. If there are other names of those that you are thinking of, please put them into the chat so we may think of them with you. And together, let us have our prayer for healing, the Misha Berach, found on page 511. Shabbat Shalom. In this week's Parsha, Parshat Bo, we see God summoning the final 3 plagues upon the Egyptians. Swarms of locusts, which eat and destroy all of their crops. A darkness that spreads all across the land of Egypt, with the only source of light being found in the dwelling of the Israelites. And finally, the slaying of the firstborn. Within this last plague, God gives the Israelites their first mitzvah, the first of 613 commandments, in the form of determining the new year, in Hebrew Rosh Chodesh, and establishing a lunar calendar. God gave Moses instructions to make sure their firstborns would be saved by sacrificing and consuming a chosen lamb and smearing its blood on the doors of all of the Israelites' homes. This is also when God established the holiday of Passover, literally taken from the act of God passing over the homes of the Israelites, where we were instructed not to eat leavened foods for 1 week. The firstborns of the Egyptians were slain, and Pharaoh ordered all of the Israelites out of Egypt at once. The portion ends with God instructing the Israelites to always remember the story of the Exodus at our Seders. What does it mean to pass over? What does it mean to fear something, to try something, to hope for something that might be out of our control? How do we put that back into our control if we are able to? We have just passed over into a new year, into our secular calendar of the year 2021, this past Shabbat. What is passed over with us, with you? The COVID-19 pandemic continues to affect our day-to-day lives. We may or may not be able to spend time with loved ones, with cherished family and friends, drinking from our favorite coffee shops, or exploring the boutique at the end of our block. What emotions passed over into this new secular year? Joy? Sadness? Anger? Frustration? Hope? All? Any? None? Others? There's no wrong answer. Whatever has passed over is what was supposed to pass over. When the new year comes, some people like to set resolutions. The countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, brings a tangible reset, a shift in our mentality. This is the year that I will finally write that book. I promise to exercise more. I want to be kinder to others and myself. But life gets in the way. Think back to January 1st, 2020. What New Year's resolutions did you set, if you did? Did you keep them? Most people keep a resolution for 1 month, and then it drops drastically by month 6. But that's not taking a whole pandemic into account. New resolutions are made, ones marked by worldwide communion. I want to be safe. I plan to talk with my family more. Things are put into a new perspective. What is passed over has returned in new light. Some resolutions are more personal, whereas others are more communal. I promise to wash my hands more often. I promise to wear a mask when I go out in public. I promise to find a balance between keeping myself happy and keeping others safe. In Pirkei Avot 2:16, Rabbi Tarfon writes, "It is not your responsibility to finish the work, but you are not free to desist from it either." When we are doing the work, we are making the world a better place for others and for ourselves. When we have a New Year's resolution of wanting to keep our living spaces cleaner, does that mean that we're recycling and composting, which betters our environment? Or does it just mean we put our shoes back on the shoe rack as opposed to the floor, which only affects us and perhaps those we let into our spaces? Think about the Jewish value, tikkun olam, repairing the world. Whose world are we repairing? Why? How do we repair our own world, knowing that other people might be flowing in and out of it? And what about considering the damage that's created both by others and by ourselves? Knowing that resolutions may fall to the wayside as the year goes on, I wonder if we should not hold ourselves to the standards of following through because it's a new year, but rather because we want to. When we make resolutions, we have many, many days that lie ahead of us to complete them throughout the year. Granted, by shifting away from the New Year's resolutions towards doing so because we want to, there's more time ahead of us, but that also gives us more opportunity to find ways to intertwine them into our daily lives. When we have a responsibility to do the work, deadlines can help, but the work at hand itself is also a factor. We're not writing papers or punching numbers. We're finding ways to be better people, better family members, friends, Jews. We know the Israelites wanted to find a better life, a better way to live communally, but we don't know about the personal struggles of each person that left Egypt. Some were probably elated that they were leaving. Others might have been terrified at the thought, for even though they were living in inhumane conditions, their lives were secure. They had shelter, food to eat, water to drink. We know from other parshiot that the Israelites called back to their time in Egypt as good when they were faced with adversity in the desert. In Numbers 25, in the 40th year of their journey, they say to Moses, "Why did you make us leave Egypt to bring us to this wretched place, a place with no grain or figs or vines or pomegranates? There is not even water to drink." They were so far removed from their trauma, their experience, that they chose to remember the good that was there. The communal trauma that we have been facing during this pandemic simultaneously feels like it's going on forever and like no time has passed. Jokes are made about how we're entering our third 2020. But no, this is 2022. So much has happened in these past 2 years. A new president and administration were elected. Vaccines became available to the public. New variants came up. New children were born. We've lost loved ones. We've gained others. We've started new jobs. We've moved across the country. We found new loves. We've explored new curiosities. At the start of the pandemic, I was 6 months out of starting graduate school, and I am now 4 months out of graduating. Time is an illusion, but it's also very real. The Israelites wandered for 40 years, forgetting their trauma, even though they and we were commanded to remember the Exodus. We need to keep our mitzvot even, or perhaps especially, if it's hard. Relying on God is an opportunity for us to come back to ourselves, to our promises, our mitzvot, and our resolutions. But at the same time, we must also think about what we are capable of at any given moment. It's okay for resolutions to be paused or forgotten. You are not any less of a person for doing that. You are taking care of yourself. Important things pop up, things that can't wait, things that take the place of that 6 a.m. run or that afternoon writing session. That's okay. You're human. We are more connected to our Israelite ancestors than we realize. We're allowed to complain. We're allowed to be sad and frustrated and angry, but we must not also forget the good that exists. As we march onward into this new year, as we enter our 3rd year of wandering in the desert, keep in mind the resolutions you made and will make, regardless of when and why you make them. Let yourself try your best and recognize that your best may change from day to day. Remember the Exodus. Remember what has brought us here, but do not let it stop you from moving forward. Shabbat Shalom. I would now like to invite up Janine Schneider, one of our board members, for some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I have the honor to represent the Board of Trustees and let you know how welcome you are in our community. On behalf of the board and Congregation Kol Ami, we want you to have a Shabbat Shalom and Happy New Year, and a special thank you to Cantor Linsky for being here with us and our educational resident. Thank you for that beautiful drosh, Elena. Thank you to our annual Shabbat sponsors, Aaron Aronow and Mike Garza, Daniel Blatt, Evan Cohen, Carrie Davidson and Andrew Ogilvie, Phil and Addie Lelyvit, Lauren Ostro and Brian Newkirk, Josh Wyman, Joseph Zipkin in the memory of Rick Lee. Now comes the fun. We want to engage you. We want to give you a whole bunch of opportunities to participate in our amazing programming that we've planned for you and for us for 2022. We hope those of you with young families will join us in our virtual Family Shabbat program tomorrow at 11 a.m. Rabbi Levy and Eliana Rubin will be singing songs and telling stories about the upcoming holiday of Tu B'Shvat and the Jewish holiday for the trees. Next Saturday, January 15th, we have our monthly virtual Torah study led by Rabbi Levy beginning at 10 a.m. This will be the first of many opportunities to study with Rabbi Levy, who I can assure you is an amazing teacher. Also, be sure to register for his 6-week online mini course, Who Knows 6, an introduction to the Mishnah, beginning on January 19th. Also on January 15th, our HIV support group will gather for its regular lunch here on the Kol Ami roof deck. It will also be available online for those of you who do not feel that you are near enough or would like to stay protected. Please RSVP to Rabbi Levy. Next Sunday, January 16th, we hope you'll join our Tzedekah Council for the congregation for a special virtual program and observance of Tu B'Shvat online from 3:30 to 5. We will discuss the significance, the contribution this holiday makes, while also learning about the ways we can reduce our negative impact on the environment. In light of the new California state law, we will learn about composting before doing some at-home planting, concluding with a brief l'chaim in celebration of the holiday. Of course, we are sad not to gather in person for this Shabbat. We've been closely monitoring the spike in the COVID cases, and as you know, the Omicron variant will continue to affect our lives. So we will make decisions regarding in-person Shabbat services on a week-to-week basis. Please check with the website. We thank you for your flexibility as we continue to navigate this pandemic together in our sacred community and prioritize the safety and health of all of us. As always, we hope you'll keep up to date of all that is happening at the congregation by visiting our website at kol-ami.org. That's kol-ami.org. You can register for all of our online programs, and while you are visiting our website, please consider making a contribution to keep our sacred community alive and vibrant. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the Aleinu on page 586.
Alleluia, לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We now turn our thoughts to those who we have lost. For those with a yard site, we think of Stephen Weltman, a member of Congregation Kol Ami, David Nemore, brother of Jackie Nemore, Mildred S. Frankel, friend of Martin Frank, Sigmund Schachmerg, father-in-law of Francis Ng, Frank Wortman, grandfather of Richard Wortman, Louis Herman Drachman, grandfather of David Drachman, Frances Latofsky, grandmother of David Drachman, Isaac Robert Sachs, nephew of Stephen Brown, Lila Gluck Flansbaum, grandmother of Andrew Rebeck, Stephen Syken, husband of Dr. Frank E. Lucente, Harvey Marvin Silletz, father of H.L. Silletz, Daniel Renberg, husband of Eugene Kapolowski, Paul Raymer, father of Keith Rand, William Raymer, grandfather of Keith Rand, and all of the names that we have said thus far have plaques on our memorial. We also remember Paula Cachot, cousin of Liz Randall, Audrey Jenkins, friend of Toby Rosen, Claire Cohen, mother of Dr. Nancy A. Cohen, Beatrice Bergen Wolfson, mother of Lynn Harrell, Linda Rand, friend of Lisa Freed, Samuel Bobrowski, grandfather of Joshua Bobrowski, Ruth Klein, aunt of Karen Siteman Lev, Grace Wertheimer Stoll, grandmother of Carol Newman, Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin, father of Dr. Michael Zeldin, and Phyllis Rosenberg, mother of Ivan Rosenberg. We also remember Jack Adler, Esther Richmond, Mary Wilson, Josh Markowitz, Vincent Gabriel, Steve Boardman, Fred Michaels, Claude Cozzolino, Jeb Stewart Robinson, Barbara Rubin, Jill Dowler, Allison Schurz, Rochelle Kaminsky, Alan Akobi, Gary Rosenfeld, Stephen May, Herbert Lenk, Jack Salzberg, Paul Rush, Kanum Bashi, Michael Epstein, Marvin Keller, Mark Levin, Rick Gould, Erwin Sonny Citron, Don Eugene Robbins, Paul Morgan Fredericks, Paula Tabor, Ann Pendo, Linda Bacalin, Ruben Ibarra, Marianne Wachsner, Claudia Morton, Ron Stoner, and Alyssa Bentley. If there are other names of loved ones that you are remembering at this time, please put them into the chat so that we can honor and remember them with you. We now turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. And we join together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'amad yivrach yirteh ve'amlich malchuteh, b'chayechon ve'yomechon, u'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalel v'yithalal shmei dekudashah barechu, le'elan min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'ama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, v'imiru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru amen. We now join together in a prayer of peace to conclude our service with O Se Shalom, so that we can bring peace with us throughout the Shabbat and this next week. Please join together.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu.
sweet week, a lovely week, a week full of joy and happiness and hope. And we wish you all of the best. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.